Hello, and welcome back to Everybody Needs a Martha. I'm so excited to be with you again. Thank you to everyone that took the time to listen and for the comments. So, before we get into our abundance party, I wanted to share how the name Everybody Needs a Martha came about. And it's actually a phrase that one of my best friends started to use to refer to me. And it was actually because it was kind of lightening the mood. I was venting a little bit about being pulled in too many directions, everybody needing something from me. Um, and I was just like, oh, so and so needed this, and I had to do that, and, and I was just going on and off. And then she kind of stopped, and I was like, well, Martha, everybody needs a Martha. And it made me laugh. It got me back into like a positive mindset. And then she uses it all the time. And then we talk about how everybody needs a Martha, and even I have a Martha. Like there's actually a person at work that whenever I'm stuck on something, she's who I turn to, and her name happens to be Martha. But we all have that person in our life that we know who we call. Like whenever something's when you broke something and you think like, now what? Or I don't know how to do this. And we all have that person, or we should have that person that we turn to, that we call. So that's your Martha. And if you don't have that person, I suggest look at your circle, see who you have that you can make that person. And don't worry, if you don't, I'm here for you. So, but that's how the name came about, and I use it now almost like a personal mantra. If I'm getting like, just remember, Martha, everybody needs a Martha, and that's how that happened. And anyway, now back to our abundance party. In our first episode, we talked about setting up that intention and taking that crucial first step, that small step. And it was simple. The homework was easy, right? Just do that one thing that will get you closer to your goal. And I hope you took that to heart. And for those who did, I'm hoping and I'm sure that you already are feeling the momentum of just feeling like, wow, I'm getting a step closer. So today we're building on that momentum. We're going to dive into like the powerful connection between taking action and some of the fundamental universal laws, like the law of attraction, the law of gratitude, and what some might call the abundance mindset. So you've likely heard of the law of attraction, the idea that like attracts like. But I want to change how you look at it, because law of attraction, some people think it's just, oh, I sit on my couch and just wish for what I want. So wishful thinking, and things are just going to happen. And then when nothing happens, they're like, why didn't anything happen? Because that's just one part. It's a universal law of vibration. It's about a frequency. Your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions all emit a specific frequency. And God and the universe are responding to that frequency. The problem is people get stuck on the cycle of I'll be happy when, or I'll be happy when I get that promotion. I'll be grateful when I get more money. And when you're thinking that way, when you're feeling that way, you're coming from a place of lack. It's like a scarcity mindset. Like there isn't enough, or you can't be happy now because you need it. Like there's this feeling of lack there. This is where the law of gratitude comes in. So gratitude is that key that unlocks that door to the abundance. So when you practice gratitude, you're shifting your vibration. You're telling the universe, I'm so full of good things and I'm ready for more. Just like taking that small action was telling the universe, I'm ready to act on what you bring my way. Here you're like, and I'm grateful for what I have. I have a lot and I'm ready to receive more of it. And it's not about being grateful of what you're going to attract, it's about what you have now. You have to appreciate those things and you have to believe that those things that are coming to you, you have them now. And when you appreciate what you have, you attract more things to appreciate. I recently heard someone say there was like what you appreciate appreciates. And I was like, I really like that. That really, and I usually tell people that where your attention goes, your energy flows. And that's all about having that abundant mindset that it isn't just about money. It's about believing there is more than enough for everyone. And that there's more than enough love. There's more than enough opportunities. There's more than enough success. It's not about thinking that, oh, if someone else gets it, I can't. There isn't this thing that if they win, I lose. And like I said, wherever your attention goes, that energy flows. So our goal should be to be in a positive mindset. We're in the right frequency so that we can feel grateful and abundant. One example I use all the time for people know me is thinking of it as like an old fashioned radio with the AM FM stations. And the universe, it's on FM. So that's the abundance frequency. Let's say it's FM dial. And you can sit there and wish for and hope to find your favorite song play. But if you're tuned into the AM, no matter how much tune in and screeching you do, like you're never going to find that song because you're not on the right frequency. Once you can get into that higher frequency, then that internal tuner is at the right station, then you can align your thoughts and your feelings to the frequency of what you want to attract. So if you really truly believe in abundance and that it is available to you and that your desires are within your reach, you're going to finally be on that right track to receive receive the stuff because you're on the right frequency. And I'll say one thing: it's not. Please know that when I'm telling all this, it's not like, oh, I've got this figured out. This is something that we can have the right frequency on for one part of our life, but maybe not in another. Maybe you're doing great, or maybe it's like day to day. Today I was on the right frequency all day. Everything was like bam, 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 and then other days were like, yeah, no. And so that's where you need your Martha to help you get back to that frequency. That's where you have these practices and things that we're learning so that we can try to stay and become more aware and more present and stay in that frequency longer and more often, and it becomes more second nature to us. So how do we put it all together? How do we make it all work? It's a simple like power cycle. So you take action. So one thing from last week, that take action no matter how small, it's that signal to the creator that you're a co-creator in this. I heard Michael Dooley say, the universe works through you, not for you. And that really resonated with me because you need to take action. You have to do something. It has to be inspired action that you take. And then you got to practice gratitude every day. Find things to be grateful for. Write them down, say them out loud, and feel that emotion that's behind them so that aligns with your energy of abundance, mindset. And then cultivate that abundance mindset. So, that abundance mindset. When you see someone else succeed, celebrate with them. Their win is not your loss. Instead, let it be proof that abundance is real and that it is available to you. So every challenge is an opportunity to grow, right? I say that all the time. It's not a roadblock. We hear that all the time. People say like it's not a challenge, it's an opportunity. Pay attention to the way you say things. I have to catch myself, especially when it comes to money and when it comes to my kids. I have kids that are constantly asking me for something. They want Robux, they want V-Bucks, they want toys, they want dolls, they want games, they want clothes, they want shoes. What do they not want? And I have to say, no, I'm not going to buy them everything. But sometimes I'll catch myself like, I don't have money, or I'm broke. Like, and I'm like, wait, let me TV timeout. And I have to kind of catch myself, become aware that that's how I'm talking, and that internal self-talk, and rephrase it. And so I might say, you know what? I do have money. I'm just not going to spend my money on that. And I'm not putting that in my budget for this month. So, and again, it doesn't have to come from a place of lack. It can say, I'm still saying no. I'm still saying that I'm not using my money for that, but I'm not putting in my head in that internal voice, internal monologue that I don't have money because that internal voice is real. And I'll share a little personal story here that actually talks about that self talk that we all have. Years and years ago, when I was probably in high school, I went through a phase where I was just not really happy with myself. This is actually probably when I first discovered affirmations and positive self talk. And I was not happy with myself. I did not like myself. People didn't know because I think I pulled it off pretty well for most part. Like I would go out throughout my day, okay. But when I was alone, the self talk was not pretty. One of the when it kind of like all exploded was one day my mom. People were over at a house. I remember I came out and my mom said, "Oh, is my daughter so beautiful?" And hearing her say that like destroyed me. I started crying. I was like yelling and I just kind of went off and I'm like, why would you say that to me? Why are you making fun of me? Why are you like, why don't you like me? Like, why would you make fun of me in front of your friends? And my mom was like really shocked and taken aback by my reaction. She's like, whoa, 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 what's going on? And she noticed like, wow, I didn't know you felt like what's going on? Like, why do you feel this way? And it was just this whole thing. And what was crazy, she took me to she was selling cosmetics at the time. She was selling Jaffa Cosmetics, I remember. And she was a supervisor, but she was going to her supervisor's like monthly meeting or whatever with all the consultants. And she took me along. And um, when we were there, the lady was speaking about, just if you have to believe what you're selling and you have to believe in yourself and you want to put on the good face for your clients and she wanted us to do this exercise where we were going to sing a song in the mirror twice a day. It's in Spanish and si mi me muero, yo soy primero. Qué bonita soy, como me quiero. Si mi me muero, yo soy primero. That literally means how pretty I am, how pretty I am, how much I love me. Without me, I'm nothing. Or like basically that's the idea of like how pretty I am, how pretty I am. I come first, right? Like is it how it ends? And she's like, you're gonna do that twice a day in front of the mirror. This is like to everybody's assignment, like in that class, right? And my mom's like, oh, yeah, we're doing that. And I go home to do that, and I'm like, yeah, okay. But my mom's like, no, let's do this. And so every day, morning and night, she had me do it. And she was like, did you do it? I'm like, no, I'm about to. I want to hear you do it. I'm like, okay, fine. So I did. And I remember the first day, Que bonito, so like, que bonito. Like there's no energy, not like didn't mean anything. And probably about, I would say, the fifth day, maybe like a weekend of twice a day looking in the mirror. I still remember that feeling of going into the mirror, looking at myself in the mirror like I had done for the last 5 days, starting with the same phrase. And I can tell you the first couple of days I would look at it and just like, yeah, this is like such a lie. Like, because I didn't like myself. I didn't see anything pretty or worthy or anything. And probably about the fifth day of just every day, because my mom made me do it, going in there and looking in the mirror. And I don't know, something just, I was like, you know, you have really pretty eyes. Like to myself, like it was like this internal, like it was like this, like, look at your eyes, they're really pretty. Look at you. Oh, your smile's not bad. Like all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the same face, I haven't changed, same person, same body, same everything. All of a sudden, for the first time, I didn't just see like the ugly that I would see, and still get emotional about it, even talking about it 30 years later, or almost 30 years later. And but that was the first time that I was like, wow, like, that self-talk that we have, we can change it. It can change. It doesn't have to be that negative downer, like, because nothing else changed. I still going to the same school, still hanging out with the same people, still doing the same thing every day. The only thing that changes is what I was telling myself. And it made such a difference in how I felt, how I carried myself, how I moved forward. Even if other people didn't notice it, it didn't matter, because internally that changed for me. And I learned that, you know what, if I'm down, I mean, to this day, I will go to that mirror and still sing that phrase, or something else that makes me feel good, empowered, pretty, whatever the case may be. Like, I'm strong, I'm resilient, I'm capable. If you know me, and you know that on my way to school with my kids, we do affirmations all the way to school, whether it's a song by Snoop Dogg. He has a song out there that we listen to, that he did for I think his grandkids, and we'll listen to that, or we just, each of the kids will throw one out as they're going through, like, okay, what are we saying today? Everybody share. But we want to start the day just in a positive mindset. And I kind of went off of a tangent of where I wanted to go with that story, but I did think I needed to share it because it does talk about gratitude, and does talk about the positive mindset and that frequency that you want to be in. And it helps you get into the idea of lack, because it's not that you don't have enough, or that you just want to feel better. It's that frequency. You can't, if you want to try to just get to that frequency. So I would say, so for this week, your call to action this week is to incorporate gratitude and the abundance mindset into your daily practices, and just the good in your life, and the positivity in you, just start incorporating that. For the gratitude part, maybe start a journal every morning. Write down 2 or 3 things that you're truly grateful for. Or maybe before you even get out of bed, just start your day by saying thank you to God, to the universe, to divine power, to make it a non-negotiable in your routine. Just start your day saying thank you. Just start the day with gratitude. And then acts of abundance. When you notice yourself thinking from a place of lack, like, I don't have enough, or I can't afford that, stop. Great that you're noticing it, because the fact that you're presently acknowledging those thoughts is amazing. And just rephrase it. Find a positive way of saying that. Find a way that doesn't sound like it's lacking. And then it's all about becoming that vibrational match for your goals. So, because if you say to the universe you don't have money, then the universe is like, okay, you don't have money. So you want to make sure that you're changing it to, like, maybe what I'm always saying. My husband hears me say this all the time: money comes to me easily and frequently. That's why I say it. I say it all the time. Anytime I get money, I'm like, money comes to me easily and frequently. Now, does that mean that money will appear out of the blue when you say those things? And my answer to that is maybe, because it's going to really depend on how your feelings, your beliefs, both conscious and unconscious. But when you start being present more and noticing that you can change that frequency, and you combine that with purposeful action, with a heart full of gratitude and a mindset of abundance, you become like an unstoppable force. So to recap all of that, keep taking those small steps every day and see if you can build on that by becoming aware of your frequency, and then changing your mindset by practicing gratitude, by practicing positive self-talk, by practicing an abundance mindset. And every day that you do that, you go a step closer and you come stronger. It's like any exercise, any muscle, anything that the more you use it, the more you practice it, the more you engage in it, the better off you'll be. So I'm hoping that little tidbit helps everybody. Hope it gets you on a good path for the rest of the week. And thank you again for tuning in to Everybody Needs a Martha. And I can't wait to hear how these practices transform your journey. I think next week we'll talk a little bit more about affirmations, since I kind of started with that today, and how that, and we can see how that little song was just the beginning of what is now a regular for me. And so until next time, keep taking action, stay grateful, and remember that there's more than enough to go around.